Hi, this is Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I am going to compare Lincoln Heritage's $10,000 worth of coverage for males aged 50 to 59 years old. We're going to talk about four things specifically today. First one is, does Lincoln Heritage offer the best plan and pricing? After that, we'll cover, is the Funeral Consumer Guardian Society worth paying extra for? Because you will pay extra for that with Lincoln Heritage. Third is, does Lincoln Heritage pay out in 24 hours? There's a lot of questions about that. And fourth is, if you have a Lincoln Heritage plan, should you replace it? If you want more info, our YouTube URL is right here, and our website address is funeralfunds.com. You can always call us at our toll-free number, 888-862-9456. Let's get into this. So what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to share a quoting software with you where you can see pricing. I'm going to just run the one for age 50, and then I put the other ages through 59 in a spreadsheet just so we can have a side-by-side comparison and really be kind of economical with our time on this video as well. Let's take a look here. So this is a quoting software. There's many different ones out there. I like this one. It's very accurate, which is terrific. And if you look right here, we're looking at a $10,000 policy for a male. I just put it in Texas. It could be any state, just depending where you live. And I put a birthday that would get us to age 50. So for a first day coverage plan that's going to have the lowest pricing, it's whole life insurance. It will never end on you as long as you make the premium payments. You won't have to worry about outliving it. It's not term life insurance that goes away over time or goes up in price over time. So $10,000 for a 50-year-old male would be $27 roughly, $27.35. So most people would say that's a pretty good price, but opinions vary. But let's take a look at some of these other insurance companies and find out where Lincoln Heritage is coming in. So we can see all these different companies, all the different companies have different pricing. That's why when somebody calls up and says, hey, I want the pricing for a 50-year-old, we're like, well, we need a little bit more information. And sometimes they think we can just magically read minds and know everything about them. That is not true. Let's keep going down. We're going to look at the price. We see it keeps going up from $27. And all of these different companies may be appropriate depending on your unique needs and situation, and most specifically your health, because all of these carriers ask different health questions. That's kind of the biggest thing that we work with as a broker. We work with a whole bunch of different types of insurance plans so that we can get people first day coverage. Lincoln Heritage, they only sell their own products. They're called a captive agency. I'm a broker. It means I can sell anything. They can only sell one thing. Captive agencies tend to have higher pricing. Let's keep looking at the pricing here. And we're going down. We still haven't run into Lincoln Heritage, and this is getting more and more expensive. We're $10 more a month right now if we go with American Amicable. Let's just keep going. Americo's $39. There we go. Columbian Financial Group. We finally broke over $40. Let's keep going. Lumico. Oh, look at that. They're $40 as well. We come finally we get to Lincoln Heritage. Here they are, almost at the bottom. Almost, yeah. Only a few others are more expensive than them. They're going to be $42. $42. It is level coverage. It's first day coverage, so that's commendable. But it's $42 versus $27. Now, most of the people I work with are on a fixed or limited income, and they need to keep that money in their own pockets, not be giving that away to an insurance company. So let's go to the spreadsheet I created. And here we go. And this little sensory overload here, but hang in there with me. So if we look at right here, I'll walk you through it. If we have a non-smoker, male, age 50, $10,000 worth of coverage, again, that would be $27.35 with the lowest price company out there for first day coverage. If we went with Lincoln Heritage, it would be $42.30. That is a difference of $14.95, almost $15. You're going to overpay with Lincoln Heritage, in this case, for a 50-year-old male by 35%. Now, I've run these numbers all the way down. So if you take a look here, so if you look at a 59-year-old male, that $10,000 is going to be $39 for the lowest price first day coverage versus $58 for Lincoln Heritage. That's about a $20 difference. But again, with Lincoln Heritage, you're overpaying almost 32%. So there's one of two ways of looking at this. You can say, well, I just want to save money. I want to go with the lower price plan and I just want to pay $27 instead of $42, or I want to pay $39 instead of $58. So if you're working with us, we can just save you money that way. The other way to look at it is saying, hey, I'm okay spending $58 or $42, but I'd like to maximize the coverage I can get for the dollars that I'm putting in. So what I did here is I said, hey, if we were going to spend $42.30, how much coverage would that buy with this company over here? Right now, we know that 42,000 or 4230 is only going to buy 10,000. So if we apply that 4230 right here to this company, it's actually going to buy $16,000 worth of coverage. So for the same money that you're spending over here with Lincoln Heritage, for 10,000, you could actually get 16,000. That's a massive difference. Let's look at it at age 59. If you were to spending $58 and we just applied that $58 over to this company here, this got better pricing, you'd be able to get $15,022, 50% more. That's substantial. So just understand with Lincoln Heritage, you are significantly overpaying. And if you take a look at that, I broke this down. So if you overpay $14.95 a month, you will overpay $179 after 1 year. If you live 10 years, this is where the math gets kind of ugly. If you live 10 years with this plan, you're going to overpay $1,794. If you live 15 years, you'll overpay $2,691. If you outlive the plan or you live 20 years, it's going to be $3,588 that you will have overpaid over a less expensive but equally as fine company. Now, next question is down here. Is the Funeral Consumer Guardian Society worth paying extra for? So let's just say what they'll do is they'll arrange arrangements for you. Call some funeral homes, kind of do some stuff like that. It's not like really intense stuff, but they kind of do some stuff, try to take some burden off folks when that time comes. But you pay for it. It's not free. You pay for it. So let's say they spent 3 hours like phoning some funeral homes and stuff like that. After 10 years of having your policy, that would be the equivalent of paying them $598 an hour. Again, that's $598 comes for dividing $1,794 over 3 years, just splitting it up. If you live 20 years longer with your policy, you'd be paying them $1,196 an hour. And it gets worse as we get older, because here, the 59-year-old, they would now be making, Lincoln Heritage would be making $744 an hour. And if after 20 years, it'd be $1,488 an hour. So my point is this, it's nice that they have this program. Some people appreciate it, but you are paying for it. And really, would one of your family members like to make this kind of money, $1,200 an hour just by planning this, you planning this and letting them take care of it? We think that money's better off spent, with your own family. And also just getting more insurance, because inflation it's always going up, and a $10,000 policy today is not going to buy $10,000 worth of inflated stuff 10 years from now. So just kind of keep that in mind. So let's jump over and answer the question, does Lincoln Heritage pay out in 24 hours? We hear that one quite a bit. So now let's tackle the subject, does Lincoln Heritage pay out in 24 hours? So if we go over to Lincoln Heritage's website, we just got to scroll down a little bit, and it talks about fast claims payment, and it talks about approved claims paid in 24 hours. The challenge is a lot of times you'll see conflicting statements on this. And a lot of times when you go to Lincoln Heritage's website, they say most claims are paid right here within 24 hours and approved claims paid in 24 hours. So Lincoln Heritage sends the money to your beneficiary as quickly as possible. That is not in 24 hours. Claims approved in 24 hours. Then it says most claims are paid within 24 hours of claim approval. It does not say claims approved in 24 hours. Think about a couple things here. If somebody dies, you have a family member or loved one pass away and they've got a Lincoln Heritage policy and they died today, would you be able within 24 hours to get money from Lincoln Heritage? No, you wouldn't. The insurance company is going to require certain things like a death certificate. Often that's going to take more than 24 hours. They're going to require some paperwork to be filled out. And that takes some time to get things done. So when you see people saying, hey, claims are approved in 24 hours, that's wrong. Approved claims paid in 24 hours. There's a big difference between reversing the words here. Claims approved compared to approved claims. Claims approved in 24 hours or approved claims paid in 24 hours. This is the language you should be going with. And it may take them some time to approve that claim. So just be aware of that. If you had an agent that told you claims approved in 24 hours and you're counting on that, boy, we'd probably recommend you perhaps look elsewhere. Maybe look at a different policy, consider something else. Again, most claims are paid within 24 hours of a claim approval. The claim has to be approved first. And in the first 2 years of the policy, they've got the right to go back and check your medical records and just make sure that no deception occurred, that nobody misstated their health facts or anything like that. So just be aware that that's some verbiage there that kind of gets thrown around. That's not really fair to the consumer to say claims approved in 24 hours. So let's finish up this video by talking about if you have a Lincoln Heritage plan, should you replace it? Well, we always recommend being cautious when replacing policies. But I tell you what, if you've got a Lincoln Heritage policy that's, like within 1 to 4 years old, it is really worth shopping that thing around, because in most cases, as you can see right here, instead of settling for $10,000, you could have $16,000. So if you just applied for that plan this year, would you rather have $10,000 or $16,000 for the same amount of money? And some people might say, well, I want the Funeral Consumer Guardian Society. Well, you're going to pay a lot extra for it. What we recommend you do is go with the company that has lower pricing that gets you the same amount of coverage. And then what we offer is a free funeral and estate planning guide. And you can just go to this URL, just type it into your browser, and you can download that for free. And you can fill out everything in advance. And that way, when you do pass away, your family members are going to have all the instruction and all the information they need to follow through on your wishes. They'll know what funeral home, they'll know if any arrangements have been made, anything like that. It largely replaces the Funeral Guardian Society cost here. And look at all the money you save. This money should be going to your family members or loved ones, in my opinion. And if you're going to overpay, just why not get this much coverage, and then you've got some extra protection if you do live a long time, or that money just goes to your family. I just don't know of anybody out there that if they wanted a $10,000 policy, they wouldn't be happy getting $16,000 and having that extra money go to their family. So I hope that was helpful for you. I'm not saying that Lincoln Heritage is not a fine company. They're just a very expensive fine company. And in most cases, people don't need these benefits. In fact, if you want, read down here, you can just pause the video or read about some potential concerns or disadvantages of the Funeral Consumer Guardian Society. And again, if you need any help, you can reach us at funeralfunds.com, 888-862-9456. Take care. Bye-bye.